Wait.
Awesome. Well, we'll back up a little bit. So what I'm showing you is going to be the demo site for Power BX. One thing we can do for you is actually white label this domain. So if you want to maybe call it proximity.powerbx.com, we're definitely can set that up. Maybe make it a little bit easier for you. But I went ahead and added some, your brand colors and whatnot, put some stock imagery. Going down, it's going to be a high level overview of the space itself.
Sweet.
I'm going to work backwards a little bit, since again you're a little familiar with proximity already, and we're gonna go into the back end first before I go into some of the reservation side.
Okay.
So how this part of the platform works is largely going to be based on user groups. So that's going to be the different permissions that allow you to reserve certain resources while other ones you can't.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go ahead and just, once we're logged in, we can click this hamburger icon, go to manage users and then view the user groups. So in here, we went ahead and added a bunch of just, sample ones you can use. I'm going to go to click the visitor to show you this. So the visitor user group, they've been set as an external user. And what that's going to allow you to do is to put certain permissions on, any workspace that you might want to monetize. So typically you'll see this in a scenario where a space might have, extra conference space or even private offices that they might want to monetize to the public, or just an external user. So that's why when you put this, it's going to actually give you the option to set different hourly, daily, as well as monthly rates.
Okay.
So on the flip side, you're going to have your internal users. Biggest difference between an internal user and external user is internal users, everything will be free. So if you got to, again, you're using that scenario where, you own this building, maybe your team's only occupying half. Anybody as an internal user can book anything as they want freely, while anyone as an external user will have to pay the rate that you define.
Got it. Okay.
And to switch the user groups, and under the user list, you can go ahead and bring that up, click any user. So let's go ahead and bring you up, Kyle. We can switch you at any time. And really it's going to just give you different permissions, and I'll show you a little bit what that looks like as well. So let's go ahead and just look at some of the resources. So when we go to manage resources, we go to workspaces. This is going to bring all the resources that we've included in the system, which can also be mapped to your Outlook or Google Calendar resources. So using those integrations, you can make a reservation in either platform. It's not going to do any double booking, and it's going to keep track of that for you.
Okay.
But let's go ahead and bring up this breakout meeting space here. So this is just, again, one of the resources, and where you're able to set different permissions based on which user group you're in is going to be under the availability. So you can see right here, the design team can reserve this particular workspace by the hour, while the legal team can only book. Oh, the legal team has, more. It's expanded ability to book by the day and also the month. One toggle that's not currently on is going to be the allow full time. And what allow full time is, it's more for if you want to permanently assign this resource to somebody. So say someone like you might have one office that's yours, and no one else can book it. You would create a full-time reservation for yourself.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and add that external user group. So we'll use the visitor here. So to do that, we just click this little search bar, type in or select the group that you want to add. So going down, now we see that the visitor user group, because it's an external user, as we can see right here on the right, now we have additional options to define how much you want to charge for something. So we could do 25 an hour for this. Maybe we'll do 150 for the day, and let's just say 1,500 for the month. So again, this is where we can really distinguish that. Any questions on that part?
No, that makes sense. You might be getting to this, but is there is there like an external? Well, I guess that URL link, the Power BX proximity.guide, is that link visible by, say, like external visitors? Or,
Yeah.
oh, it is. And then
Yeah.
and then any resource that's available to those visitors would be visible. Otherwise, everything else would just be visible for actual like members that are assigned to a team or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So we can go ahead and switch gears to that external site. So the Power BX approximate guide is visible to anybody.
Okay.
And you'll see this under the C user groups thing. I guess some spaces allow, I don't know why I said let me view the other ones because I guess I'm a visitor.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm already an external user. But what you could do is they could sign up as a, I don't know, under some external user group. So, and right now by default it's visitor.
Yeah.
And that's just going to give me again external permissions.
Okay. Yeah,
So if I,
I was thinking this was like an internal dashboard, but it's sort of both. If you're a visitor coming to the site, you'd have visibility on what's available to you, and then assuming you're signed in, you could go deeper based on those permissions.
yeah. So
Got
what
it.
this, the
Okay.
admin portal I just showed, your external user are not going to be able to see that. I mean, in fact, internal users wouldn't even be able to see it either. These are just anyone that's a manager or an owner.
Got it. Okay. Very cool.
But yeah, I just that's why I just wanted to work backwards, just explain the differences in the user groups. It's a lot of the reservations are going to be based on your specific type.
Yep. Okay.
But to make a reservation, you just simply click reserve workspace, and it's going to first bring up a map. This is my preferred way of booking. I like the visual aspect, right? So I can obviously switch different floors, and I'll get that renamed. I can switch to different floors here. If I have multiple buildings, I could also see that here as well.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah.
Opposite
You know
way, or
exactly
the
where you're going.
other way of booking it, you can do the list view. Some people prefer this method, which is nice because you can, filter like, all right, I want the main building, I want it on floor 2, and I'm looking for just meeting rooms. Like I don't care about workspaces, and that's going to go ahead and sort that for me here. But let's go back to the map view. Let me bring that up. And I'm gonna just show you. Actually, I'm gonna go to floor 2 and make it one quick differences here. So looking at private office A, you'll notice that it does when you try to book this, even though there's 2 seats in that resource, it's in set, so it's kind of like an all or nothing approach. I guess what I need to show you. Sorry, I'm hopping around a little bit. Different workspaces you're able to define the seating capacity in, as well if it allows for individual reservations or if it's a group reservation. So private office A, for example, there might be a seating capacity of 2, but that's a group reservation in the sense that once you reserve it, it takes that resource off the map completely.
Understood. Okay. So basically, depending on how many individuals you could have, you could technically see availability for, say, 3 slots until all are filled in that.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the open seating lab over here, I think it's set up as a capacity of 10. And if you set the setting to be individuals, that means there's 10 reservable slots in there, but it's open seating. So they can, once 10's full, 10's full. But it's not tied to a specific desk or anything like that.
Okay.
Likewise, on Office B, we actually set it up so each one of these desks are a specific reservable resource. So if we wanted to, we can turn this open seating lab into each chair to be its own reservable spot. So if it's more open seating, this is the better approach. If you're looking for more assigned seating, Office B is the better option for that.
Okay.
But to make a reservation, we can simply just click open seating lab. my permissions are going to give me a couple different options to either reserve or request assignment. But we're just going to do reserve for the purpose of this demo. And what I'm going to see is now I have the ability to reserve something by the day or by the hour. We'll just keep it with by the day. Optionally, you can put a reservation name, which is what's going to show up on the Astro tablets. On that, they can choose to make it private if they needed to. So they'll still have that reservation name just for organizational reasons, but they can make it private if they needed to. They also have the ability to invite coworkers to the invite. So doing so will actually add into that. Let's just select let's do for today. And then I'll need to move my Zoom icons or screen. And we can continue here. So right now we're seeing that we don't owe anything. And that's because this site's been set up so we can also accept external users. So it will say free, but otherwise it would tell me what the price is if I had to pay for it.
Okay.
Hit complete reservations and we're done.
Cool.
Any questions on the reservation side?
No. Where my mind's going now are the like hardware assets that are tied to those resources.
Yeah.
In room and out of room.
You talk about our Room View app.
Not the app, but say like we had Astro on the external, or we had another display on the inside showing like the ISP credentials or whatever.
Yeah. What? Sorry, what was it? What about it exactly?
Well, so that made sense to me with regards to how to configure resources. But if you have hardware that is used to manage those resources, I don't know if that's the best next thing to get into, but that's where my mind is kind of going.
Yeah, we could talk about that. Let me see if I can actually log into it. Nice. So this is what I'm on a Mac that allows you to run iOS application. So this is what you would see on an Astro. And right now, of course, we have it on an external view, but in there on the settings itself, let me see if I can find. Oh, I can. So here's the Power BX room right there. But we're allowed to do, set where this tablet's placed. So selecting outside, of course, is just going to show the outside view. And then if you wanted to put that Astro on the inside, you can also set it up here. Do so as well. And then you could select which resource it's placed in. So we did the breakout, I think it's breakout meeting room. Yeah, so I'll do that.
Okay, so I'm familiar with that on the device itself. So okay, so is there within the dashboard, is there not a device manager? Is that all? So it's all device level assignments.
Yeah, it lives locally on the device itself.
Got it. I just haven't played around enough in the dashboard. That
Yeah.
So if we were doing a bigger rollout and we're provisioning and IDing to a room, we're getting the software set up, and then on each of those the resources would already be pre-set up in the dashboard, and then we're just assigning those on the device. Yeah. Okay.
I think really you can give the option for the customer to do two ways. Is you can already pre-assign all the rooms on each tablet, but at the same time, it might be easier if they just install them all at once and just go in and simply change the setting of which room they want it to be in. Just give them either option there.
Yeah, either option. Typically, if we can, we like to get them set up so that as soon as they're plugged in, everything's already ID'd to the room. So it's just
cool.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
We can, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, you would go ahead and just set it up here, of course, label it, and it should be literally plug and play at that point.
Got it. Yep. Cool.
There are a few other things too, the user directory and perks. I'll just let you play with it on your own leisure. And I think you'll really understand the system more as you just kind of, played out different scenarios and making reservations and whatnot. But
Yeah.
any questions beyond, what we've seen so far?
No, that's brief, but like very helpful because I think it meets the need. Can I look just one more time on the little hamburger thing if you don't mind opening?
Yeah. Let me move this right here.
Can you just talk a little bit on users? So are these, I guess I'm just thinking internal, external users. So here is where we would basically add all of those users. And I'm just curious what details or what, I guess, user data is being stored. Are there assignments to specific spaces, or I guess just assignments to groups, which are then groups have their own permissions?
Yeah, so every user will be under a user group. I mean, I guess they don't have to be. They can be on a default one. They just won't be able to do anything. But every user is assigned to a specific user group. And then really anything that we're storing beyond that is just going to be name, email, phone number, and whatnot. You can see their resource reservation. So if you needed to assign, or if you needed to make a reservation in a conference room for somebody, you
Mhm.
certainly can do so in here.
Okay.
Likewise, if you wanted to permanently assign an office, so let's even just go to your profile here, and we want to give you a permanent assignment. So let's just do assignments. Let's do make you in private office A. So now you can see there's a couple different options. We can,
Mhm.
I guess, waive charges, obviously not applicable, but reserve indefinitely is something you would probably do. But a scenario where you might not want to do it, let's just say it's someone from your board that's coming to work for a month or so. You can just go ahead and book this resource for them for a month or two, or however long.
Yeah.
And it will expire when it expires. So now
Yeah.
once I can assign you this resource and it should reflect it. Let me go to, it's over here. Yep. See, now it turns
Yeah.
red because this resource has been assigned to you.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Right on. Yeah, that was super helpful.
Yeah, let me know if you once you get a moment to play with the system a little bit, we can set up a secondary call if you got any questions in different areas. But I think this is enough for you to enough information for you to understand the inner workings of the system to at least again talk about it enough to be dangerous.
Yeah. Now, did you so I don't know, do you mind just sending me that link? Because I don't know if I just
Okay.
in my email here, and I don't know if I don't recall getting an email that was just checking proximity that had that in there.
Yeah, let me
Should I have gotten an email?
I'm sorry.
Should I have gotten an email with that?
Yeah, I thought unless I didn't hit send. Sometimes that happens, but I'll just send it to you right now.
Okay. Yeah, cool. And then we'll get in there and play around and try to make some cells here.
Yeah, definitely.
How's the beginning of the year been for you guys?
I've been insanely busy.
That's awesome.
I've been just calls after calls after call, which is great,
Yeah.
It seemed like this is the year that everyone's really trying to either open a co-working space or they're actually working on the return to work plan. I just talked to a brewery in Atlanta
Mm-hmm.
like an hour ago, and they're opening a 10,000 square foot facility that they want to bring into a I don't know more modern age. They want to make it attractive enough for their employees to come in.
Yeah. I've heard that
What
a
do you?
lot. Like, just
Yeah,
what does the new office look like so that
yeah.
back to work is not like this begrudged sort of thing?
Yeah. What are you seeing? Beyond that, just it's kind of
You know, this month it hasn't, I wouldn't describe it as just being like kind of gangbusters and maybe in
Yeah.
how you're seeing it. Um, but we do have like deals coming in.
Yeah.
I haven't necessarily seen it. I mean, I definitely wouldn't say it's slowed down. I just but I have sensed a little bit of December's always hard for us and November because of the holidays. Like there's
Oh,
a
for
slowdown,
sure. For
right? Like
sure.
that's just natural. And what I haven't been able to kind of get a pulse on fully yet is how much of that slowdown is just our normal seasonal slowdown